Respected Mahamana Malviya ji's message to students.
God has made the world a place of beauty and of joy. He has blessed the earth and its inhabitants in bounteous ways. But man has, by his ignorance, pride, and greed, often brought long-lasting suffering upon himself and his fellow creatures. Who can recount the misery inflicted by man upon man, by one nation upon another, during all the wars or periods of the domination of one over another which history has recorded? The last European war has afforded the greatest and most terrible lessons of the devastating effects of war. It has given a staggering blow to Europe and has proclaimed the failure of modern civilization. The nations of Europe which were engaged in the war nearly all professed one religion. They all enjoyed a high degree of material prosperity, yet they were jealous of one another and were competing for supremacy on the seas, on land, and in the air. The economic results of the war have been disastrous for Germany and are likely to prove disastrous for their opponents. The earth is groaning under the weight of armaments equipped with the deadliest weapons which human ingenuity can invent. A prediction has been made that the rumbling thunders of a new war will be heard before long. A disarmament congress is to meet, so also many other conferences. Good. But has there been a change in the ideas of the men of different countries of the world which may justify a hope that the days of aggression and violence are likely to be ended? I fear not. The basic ideas upon which modern civilization rests require to be changed. The notions that men have of God and religion require fundamental modification. Can there be anything more ludicrous and lamentable than that while fighting one against the other or others, each nation should be praying to God for victory? How pathetic! They believe that they can win the grace of God while they are mercilessly killing His children. They show by their conduct that they have wrong ideas of the nature of God. Their notion of their relations with their fellow men is vitiated by that idea. The vast bulk of mankind talk of God, repeat His holy name, and believe in His existence. But only a few have a living conviction that He does exist. Fewer still have a true idea of His nature. If mankind is to be led into a higher stage of civilization, it is essential that an international endeavor should be made to pool all knowledge which the theologians, the philosophers, and the scientific men have made available to bring the existence of God home to the meanest understanding, to give every man and woman a correct idea of the nature of God and of His relation to man, and therefore of the basic principles of religion which should govern the conduct of man. I firmly believe this can be done. The Vedas, which are the most ancient books extant on earth, have taught us that the whole of the visible universe is the creation of one supreme, self-existing, pure and absolute intelligence, otherwise described as the universal mind, which pervades the whole universe, has always existed and will always endure. That the law and order visible in the wonderful starry heavens, with the most exquisite, inexplicable growth and design and power of reproduction, which run through the whole body of mammals, birds, and reptiles, the measure of uniformity in organisms, which is to be noted among men and the other animals and plants on earth and in the deep sea, that every creature which knows, feels, wills, and has any life in it, that every blade of grass that grows, all offer eloquent proof of the existence of the supreme source of life, even as multitudinous different colors and shapes of lighted electric bulbs connote the existence of a common electrical powerhouse. The calculations of mathematicians, the telescope and the microscope, the investigations of scientists in the departments of physics, chemistry, botany, and zoology, have made it possible to bring this knowledge within the comprehension of every man and woman. This modern knowledge has supported the conclusions reached and proclaimed by the ancient sages of India that there is only one God in the universe, one without a second, who dwelleth in all living organisms, wherever and in whatever form they may be found. This knowledge establishes an identity of relationship not only between man and man, but between man and all sentient beings. From this follow two fundamental principles. As the same God dwells within all my fellow creatures, I must not do that unto others which I would not like others to do unto me. And second, that I ought to do that unto others which I would like others to do unto me. These are the two negative and positive precepts proclaimed by the sages of India several thousand years ago as constituting the essence of religion and ethics. They have been long recognized in Christianity as laying down the golden rule of conduct for mankind. If they are practiced, they are sufficient to prevent the invasion of the rights of anyone by any other and to ensure the unmolested, independent, peaceful existence of the weakest as well as the strongest. If we can, by a combined effort, implant this truth on the hearts of our fellow men, we shall have effected the greatest insurance against wars, ruinous armaments, unjust and unhealthy commercial competitions, and all the evil consequences which flow from them. Here is a cause which seems to me to be worthy of engaging the attention of the best of our race. God grant that it may.